Happy New Year once again. My name is Dylan.
And I'm Ryan.
And it is still 2025, y'all. We are a quarter of the way through the 21st century. We told you our 10 favorite books and movies of the century so far. And now it's time to talk about albums.
Yeah, music is not something we've done a lot on this channel, but we'd like to mix it in more somehow.
Yeah,
so.
We haven't talked about music enough on this channel, and we intend to. We're both big music fans. So let's talk about our 10 favorite music albums from the 21st century in the same way, going through by year.
Yep.
Do you have any from 2000?
I do. 2000.
Okay. Go ahead.
I have Distill. I think it's Distill.
Oh, by the White Stripes.
By the White Stripes.
Yeah.
A lot of great songs on that.
Good choice. The White Stripes should be included here. Yeah. I don't have any from that year or 2001.
I have 2001. The Strokes' first album. Is This It?
Yeah. Also a great choice. I don't have any from 2002 either.
Neither do I.
Okay. I have from 2003 another Strokes, Room on Fire.
Yes. Me too.
You have that one also?
Yeah, so we're the same on that one.
Good choice. That's my favorite Strokes album and one of my favorite albums. Love Room on Fire.
Yeah, I think I might have to say that too.
But you included more than one on this list, so that's good. Do you have a 2004?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
My 2004 is Hot Fuss by The Killers.
Oh, good choice. Yeah.
That's a good album. There's a lot of good songs on that album.
Yeah, that's a good one. I have one from 2005.
So do I.
Okay, mine is Commit This to Memory by Motion City Soundtrack. One of my favorite bands of all time. And that's my favorite album of theirs from 2005.
All right, 2005, mine is my third Strokes album on my list is First Impressions of Earth.
Their first three albums are fantastic.
Yeah.
I love those three.
The Strokes is one of my favorite bands, so it's no surprise they're on this list for me,
Yeah, makes sense. Times. Do you have a 2006?
I do have a 2006.
Oh, go ahead.
From also one of my favorite bands, but most of their best albums, in my opinion, are from the 90s, but this one made it, The Silver Lining by Soul Asylum. When this one came out, I wasn't as excited about it. Like, I didn't like it as much as the other Soul Asylum albums from the 90s. But it really grew on me. And I really like basically all of these songs on this album. So,
nice one. Good choice. I have two from 2007.
Okay, I also have a 2007.
Okay, I'll do one, then you do one, and then back to me.
Sure, yeah.
My first one is In Rainbows by Radiohead.
Okay.
Wow. I had a big Radiohead phase back in the day, and I still love to listen to them. They had some great albums in the 90s, like OK Computer, but In Rainbows is my favorite for sure. Beautiful, gorgeous album. Love it.
All right, mine from 2007. I almost didn't put this one on here. But it's Long Road Out of Eden by the Eagles.
Okay.
And it's kind of because this is a very personal one. I liked the Eagles so much. They were my favorite band for many years, probably even including this time. Maybe not by that time. Actually, no. 2007, I would have been 17. So right in the middle. Hit me right in the middle of my Eagles fandom. And it was cool to, after listening to a lot of their more classic stuff, and to get a new album by then was cool. So it's like, this is a double album too. It's long. And considering how many songs are on it, it's like, there's not a lot that are like my favorites, but there's a couple that are some of my favorite of theirs. And just the idea of this album, I really like. So it had to make the list.
Cool. Good choice. My other pick from 2007 is also kind of a personal pick for me. That is New Wave by Against Me. This one, it's personal for me because it was the first concert I went to of like a big touring band, not like local stuff. Because they're a punk band from Florida. And to some early fans of their early stuff, this is the album people say they sold out on. But it's one of my favorites. Produced by Butch Vig, who is the drummer from Garbage, who also produced Nevermind by Nirvana. So it just sounds great. I love their energy on it. I love the band. So yeah, New Wave for me. And I don't have one from 2008.
Neither do I. Here's a little sneak peek if you haven't already noticed. I've spent 7 of my 10 in 2000 to 2007.
It seemed like you have a lot of early ones. I have some later
Okay,
ones.
so no 2008 though.
I have one from 2009.
Okay, go ahead.
And that is Man on the Moon, The End of the Day by Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's debut album. And really the album that got me into hip-hop and like taking the genre seriously, because it has like, you know, fun party music on there kind of, but then it's also a lot of sad songs, emotional stuff, like opening up more than I had heard any hip-hop artist do before that album. So I absolutely loved that one, and Kid Cudi still to this day. So I also have one from 2010.
Okay, go ahead.
And that one is Sale El Sol by Shakira. Shakira's probably my favorite artist of all time. And this is her best album since her debut, which was in the 90s. So that's why it's not on the list. But this one, all in Spanish. A lot of great collaboration. Some of her best, most iconic songs. Love that album. I also have one from 2011.
So do I.
Okay, you should go first then.
Mine from 2011 is my fourth and, spoiler, final Strokes album on this list, Angles. Which is another kind of one where after those first three, they kind of started to change up their sound with almost each album that came out, you know, in the three after that, the next three. And this was the first one where I was kind of unsure about it at first and then grew to really like it, you know.
Me too. I didn't like it when it first came out because it sounded totally different. So it wasn't what I was expecting. But yeah, I learned to love that one too. Machu Picchu, Taken for a Fool, Undercover the Night, whatever. A lot of great ones. Okay, mine from 2011 is an album called Everything's Amazing and Nobody's Happy by Candy Harts. This is a super underrated pop punk band. They only had a couple of albums, but this one, their first album, I love it. It's fantastic. Check it out if you haven't heard it. I have two from 2012.
Wow, no, I don't have any.
You don't have any?
No.
Okay. My first one's another hip-hop album. That is Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, this one, if you're a hip-hop fan, you've probably heard it already. If not, go listen to it. This one, similar to the Kid Cudi one, there's a couple of like his popular songs on here that if you heard it in the background, you might think it's party music, but he's actually talking about serious stuff. And so when I listened to the album front to back, it really blew me away. It's like a whole movie, the way it plays out. So, I mean, that's a fantastic album. And then my other one from 2012 is On the Impossible Past by the Menzingers. Another rock album, kind of pop punk from the Menzingers. And that one is also just front to back bangers the whole time. Love that one.
Cool.
Do you have any from 2013?
No.
Me neither. What about 2014?
I do have a 2014.
Go ahead.
The album is Seeds by TV on the Radio.
Ah, okay.
This is a great album. Feel through the whole thing. Interesting. It was my first introduction into TV on the radio by finding this album. I don't know what else to say about it.
Check it out.
Yeah.
What about 2015?
Nope.
Me neither. My last one is from 2016.
Okay.
And it's another hip-hop album. This one is called The Impossible Kid by Aesop Rock. This one's a little different from the other ones. It's kind of abstract hip-hop. But I love the sound on this album, like instrumentally. And then the lyrics are really interesting from Aesop Rock, rapper from New York. So that's my last one.
Cool. My last one, actually, skip one more year, go to 2018 is my last one. I'll Be Your Girl by the Decemberists.
That's a good one.
I found this is also, I think, well, I probably had heard the Decemberists before this, but I had just started listening to a couple of Decemberist songs, and then this album came out at the time, and then I was like, oh, it really hit me as a, just the idea and everything in the album at the time. It really, really worked. It's still one of my favorite albums. There's a lot of great songs on this album. Yeah.
Good choice. And that was your last one, right?
That will round out my list. So nothing for us newer, nothing from the last like 7 years or whatever, 6 or 7 years on this list for us.
Well, I've had some albums I really liked more recently, but it was hard for me to choose. There's a lot of good albums that I liked, a lot of great albums, really. If I wanted to give some quick honorable mentions, I would want to shout out Juanes, who has a lot of great songs like across his career, but it was hard for me to pick one album. I like Mi Sangre the best from 2004. Also, Paramore had a great 3-run album in the early 2000s. I would choose Brand New Eyes as my favorite one, but they just didn't quite make it into my top 10.
I might give one little shout out that I don't know how close it was to getting to the top 10, but for the Swifties out there, I within the last couple of years started listening to some Taylor Swift. Because of my fiance, and also in addition to like her just really blowing up onto the mainstream stage where she was always huge. Yeah. But in the last year or two, she really blew up with the Eras tour and everything. So I went through and I listened to all of her albums, including the new one that came out in 2024, and the one that I will shout out as my favorite one is Red. It has the most songs on it that I enjoy. I know I am also of Swifties. I will be a early, like first half Swiftie up till 1989 is my favorite stuff, and then less into when she goes a little more pop. I actually did folk, I guess, in there with those two, but yeah, there you go.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't myself listened to a lot of her newer stuff. I haven't gone through the whole listen, but yeah. Okay, those were our lists of our favorite albums so far from the 21st century. I think I need to listen to some of yours that I haven't heard, but I've heard most of them. So we have a little bit of homework as usual, but also please comment down below what's your favorite album so far of the 21st century so we have more to listen to.
Yeah, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends to tune in too.
You can click another video now. Thank you. Bye.